How do you make money on the side? I wrote a fantasy novel. It took 15 years. I missed a lot of television. I believe I have sold 11 copies. Faster than the speed of love. Shoveling snow. The amount of money some people will pay for you to shovel their sidewalk and driveway is incredible. I started shoving snow on the side. 3 years later I had 2 trucks, 6 employees and 900 driveways. Now I'm a software developer. Life is strange. I play piano for things like wedding ceremonies, corporate events, cocktail hours, Christmas parties, and receptions. And just recently, I got cast in a pilot for a TV show which I hope will get picked up. The next big no-name actor is just sitting here, buried in the comments section. Good luck. I work for some really wealthy people who regularly throw away old but perfectly good things. I proceed to sell their trash on eBay, Craigslist. Cleaning evicted homes. I did it for my landlord during high school and college. $10 an hour under the table. I now have a strong stomach, carpentry, plumbing, and flooring skills. It sucks when you find used condoms or crap on the walls, but hey, I score some neato stuff that people leave behind. I also did private housekeeping for some wealthy families in college as well. Same rate, plus they would give me small bonuses for holidays and such. I fix fence and work with cows. Nebraska life. Fellow Nebraskan here, exactly what it's like. I contract out to inspect welds on construction sites. Make about as much in 2 days on the weekend as I do during the week at my actual job. My dad and I deliver hot tubs for a small pool company. We have a special trailer that makes it super easy. People buy these $6,000 plus hot tubs that weigh upwards of 1,000 pounds and then realize they can't deliver it themselves. That's when we come in and charge $200 for an easy one or $300 if it has to go on its side. We also remove people's old hot tubs. Oftentimes they think it's beyond repair, so they pay us to get rid of it. We then fix it and resell it. It's become quite the moneymaker. Sounds like an honest day's work. My wife is a soap maker. I was skeptical of homemade soap at first, but after trying it I couldn't go back. I didn't even know my skin was dry until it wasn't anymore. It also lasts forever and smells pretty nice. My mom retired and turned soaping into a full-blown business. It has gotten to the point she has top pick of booths at craft shows all over the South. I buy old wine barrels and convert them into furniture and sell for cash. Doesn't make huge amounts, but every bit helps, and as my wife says, at least it is a self-funding hobby. I teach quinceanera waltz and surprise dance routines. Basically I teach 15-year-olds how to dance for their Mexican coming of age party. Get like 1k a month out of it. I own an online store. I am currently losing $30 per month. I buy cars that have repairable problems at auction. Cars that are dirt cheap. Basically, I fix them up, clean them up and get them purring like they just drove off the lot. Then I sell them for much more than I paid and invested in parts. I flip like 2 or 3 a month sometimes. I've made over $1,000 on more than one occasion. One time I made like $3,000, but I got a ridiculous deal on the original purchase. When I was younger, I would rent an apartment or house that was bigger than I needed, typically a 3-4 bedroom place. I would use one of the smaller rooms and rent the rest out. I would get permission from the landlord to sublet the rooms and would have tenants sign a month-to-month lease. In almost all cases, the rent from the extra rooms covered the rent for the apartment or house, and sometimes put extra cash in my pocket. As I got older, I rented larger places until I bought my house. Real example: 5-bedroom house, 3 upstairs plus 2 baths, 2 downstairs plus 1 really big den playroom, and a large bathroom which tenants shared. We shared the kitchen and had 2 fridges. I bought this house and the mortgage was $1,650. I rented out the 3 downstairs rooms for $500, and $900 for a total of $1,900 mo. That was a $250 mo profit, and we lived in the 3 upstairs bedrooms for free. I do a bit of tutoring. Pays pretty well. £30 an hour sometimes, but you work more hours than you're paid for. Prep, travel, and mostly the kids are shoots, so it's pretty boring, disheartening. I also work a few hours a week at a food co-op. They pay terribly, but it's fun and a good cause. Also do charity stuff, and pay gets topped up with funny looking or bruised veg. Get some stock and some beans. You've got a stew going. I pawn my crap and severely regret it 3 months later. I sell plasma. I have a divot in my arm from college. I work as an audio to text transcriber on the weekend. It's self-employed and I work from home. I don't earn huge amounts and it's pretty tedious not ever having a day off, but it can add up to £80 a week or so, which really helps. Kids, don't run up those student overdrafts. I make films for children's parties. I get given a particular theme. Star Wars was the last one, and rich parents who just want to distract their children for an afternoon pay me to make a film with their kid and said kid's friends. The kids love it, the parents can relax whilst I do all the work with another person, and they get a cool little 7-10 minute film at the end of it all, making them look like a Jedi Knight or a mini James Bond. I had a friend who used to sell Alaskan land over the internet for $25 an acre. He made around $800, which is pretty impressive, I think. People would tell him what kind of area they wanted. Then he would find a place and send them coordinates and a certificate of land. I'm also fairly positive this was a scam, because I don't know how it couldn't be. Certificate of land seems legit. I'm a party princess. I dress up as Disney princesses, with minor alterations and such to avoid getting a cease and desist letter from Disney, and entertain kids at parties. You kind of have to be at least a little good with kids, and have activities planned, and know your character inside and out. But yeah, I'm basically a group of children's new god for an hour or two, and I make $50.70 an hour. It's pretty cool. I also go to yard sales, buy stuff that will sell, shoes, accessories, antiques, and sell it on eBay. That brings in anywhere from $100 to $600 a week. At first I thought party princess was like a code word for I sell drugs at parties or I'm a prostitute, but I kept reading and, no, you're like a literal party princess. I buy rare books and sell them online. Sometimes I just buy them on eBay and immediately resell them on eBay for more money. This used to be my money on the side, but I quit my job 3 months ago, and it has paid enough to keep me not homeless. I make posters and album covers for local bands and small festivals. It doesn't pay much, in fact, almost nothing, but I love it. It's something I am good at and which I enjoy, and I work with awesome people from my local music scene. There is something really great about seeing your own work somewhere. Plowing driveways. I live in a town half full of rich yuppies, the other half's country folk who wisely invested in some sort of plowing device, whether it be a 4-wheeler or a tractor in the middle of nowhere basically. They all have these huge ass houses with long ass driveways, but no means to plow them. $10 a drive and I feel like I'm ripping them off since I also ask for free rein to sled all over their property. Takes me maybe 10 minutes. I became an elected government official, basically a member of a town council of a teeny tiny town. Didn't even have to run for office, because there weren't enough people to fill the required council seats. I get about $5 6k per year, for about 4 hours a week, every other week, all from about 6 o'clock p 8 o'clock p during a couple of weekdays, about 2 hours a week average. Requirements: have to live in the town, have to make it to meetings. As a side note, I could never get elected in a real election. My political and religious affiliations do not match the prevalent leanings and beliefs of the town at all. But when I'm the only one raising my hand to participate, no problem. You should watch House of Cards and use that as a guide to make it to the top. I build custom computers for a $50 flat fee after the price of the parts. I'm playing drums at a local club on Friday and Saturday nights. I have a few apps on the Google Play Store which gives me around €70 every 6 months or so. It is not much, but I don't have to do anything about it. I take Tinder profile photos for guys who don't like to smile in New York City. $60 for 1 hour and I email them the results later that day, usually 8-12 polished photos. I do some stand-up comedy. Real tough to earn money at it though, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone really. Same here. Hardest thing in the world to do, but goddang is it fun. And the feeling of getting paid to tell jokes is just blissful. I'm a H. I crochet and sell things I make. So long as you're not a seamstress. My side job turned into my main job, writing erotica. I sell plants. We'd like to know what kind of plants you sell, buddy. I'm doing Twitch. Your payoff rises from month to month. I'm a streamer as a hobby, but I once got $2. Time to drop out and stream full time. At my high school I buy a 12 pack of Coke from the store every morning for like $4. Then I sell them for $1 a piece at lunch. I make a decent profit at the end of each week. I grow saltwater coral anemones and the occasional fish. The fish don't usually make up most of the money I make. I am constantly selling clean excess water from my tank to others who freak up and need to replace the water in theirs. After 6 months 6 years the return on coral and anemones is ridiculous. Plus live rock and everything else. I can make an easy $1,500 to $2,500 a month on the side for doing nothing but paying my electric bill. I have an LLC and I have contracts with a few small businesses to work on their servers, networks, PCs, etc. I have a monthly fee that covers up to a certain amount of time. After that time they are billed hourly. I write top 10 lists for a site called listverse.com. They pay $100 a list and haven't rejected a single list I've sent so far. I used to write for the comedy site cracked.com, but Listverse pays better and all readers do on Cracked is be about every little thing in an article. Writing short stories, novellas to post on Kindle. You know those keep calm and posters that Reddit hates? Yeah, I make design and sell those. My last 2 vacations were funded by these. Etsy is fantastic. It's amazing what people will pay for something on Etsy. At one time my girlfriend was buying all sorts of stuff that goes in first aid kits in bulk, splitting it up into individual handmade first aid kits, and selling them. And she would spend around $250 on supplies, make something like 25 first aid kits, and sell them for $50 a piece. People love anything that's handmade, I guess. I do other people's desk jobs for them, with more and more jobs being telecommute. I just work multiple jobs from home at the same time. Imagine working a desk job where you spend all day on Reddit and very little time working. Now, imagine if that was a telecommute job where you worked from home every day. Now imagine if you could pay someone else to do that job for you. Possibly only being pulled in once every few weeks for a question and paying off a portion of your salary. That's what I do. I take people's jobs off their hands. They keep their benefits and a few bucks an hour and go do something else with their life. I babysit their job, use auto clickers and anti-idlers to make them look active, chat programs, watch emails, maybe do some actual work now and then, etc. It's basically office space, at home, several times, simultaneously. What started off as a side job doing this once is now a full-time gig. I will have paid off all my debt, minus my mortgage, in 6 months and my wife will be able to quit her job by summer. I tutor business calc students in college. I have no degree at all, but I took the class once and sat through it another time just to have a huge grasp on it. Business calc is usually a course business majors have to take and most of them are not overly confident in calculus. So I just take advantage of business majors that don't know calc. I charge $40 an hour, minimum 2 hours, and have at least 2 students a night. It started as a way to make side money and now it's all I do. I make $900 a week. I buy vintage jewelry at rummages and estate sales and sell it on eBay. The best find to date was a gold bracelet that sold for over $200 profit. I bead jewelry and sell it for $10.50 plus a piece online. I make roughly $100 $300 in extra cash a month. I import small quantities of items off AliExpress and resell them locally on Craigslist OLX. I live in a small third world country where people don't know how to order online. Amazon won't ship here and there are lots of things that aren't available in stores. I also bring back small high value items when I go to the US and resell them, like used cell phones or GPSs. I send Japanese candy on a subscription basis to people abroad. I live in Japan. I started doing it in addition to apps I had written, but those didn't do so well and this side thing ended up being my main thing. The downside when trying to diet is that I always end up with piles of candy in my apartment. If you visit, I can offer as much candy as you can eat. You have been visited by the Doggo Yoda comment master, so that strength always accompanies you. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.